people want power. I'm in politics for power. You are too used to politicians that lie to you. I'm in politics for power, make no mistake. I'm here for power, unashamedly power. That's why I'm here.
So, guys, it looks like the leader of Patriotic Alliance and the Minister of Sports, Art and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, is in a lot of trouble. This comes after the debate that people were having about what was said on the Open Chat podcast. I know some of you guys will say, what podcast? Guys, on YouTube, there's a channel that is called the Open Chat podcast. And I must say that this channel is quite big. They have over 100,000 subscribers and their videos get a lot of views. And this is a channel that is operated by young people. And like many young people, they get on these platforms of theirs and they talk nonsense. This is what these young people do also. They get on this big platform of theirs and start talking nonsense. But this time around, it looks like the crew at the Open Chat podcast has actually crossed the line because of the remarks that were made about the colored community in this platform. So the colored communities are not happy at all about what was said about them on this video. Patriotic Alliance, Gayton McKenzie, and other members of Patriotic Alliance, they are not happy at all about what was said, and they are promising accountability. So if you are wondering, what is it exactly that was said about the colored community? What is it exactly that has angered the colored community so much? This is it.
The Khaleds apparently chow each other, chief.
Siblings.
You don't know.
No, but I believe that because Khaleds are crazy. Khaleds are crazy.
Crazy in what way?
They chow each other, those are chief.
I've dated a Khaled, so I can
I've
say
dated a
that.
Khaled,
You've
but
dated a
then I
Khaled.
just know
Crazy. Okay, I've
they're
dated a
crazy
one.
mentally, but not,
No,
not
if
to
you're,
that
if you're
point,
mentally
bro.
crazy, then of course you'd sleep with your cousin.
Okay.
So, guys, I must say that it's sad, man, to hear these young people get on this platform of theirs and insinuate that the colored people are having sexual relations with their own siblings, their own relatives and cousins, and to say that the colored people are crazy. Of course, these remarks are totally unacceptable. And Gayton McKenzie and Patriotic Alliance, they saw this as an opportunity for them to stand up for the colored community and to hold these young people accountable for what they said about the colored community. So the new councillor of Patriotic Alliance, Liam Jacobs, did a video recently where he went to police station to actually open a criminal case against the host of the Open Chat podcast and to promise that the colored community is not going to let this slide.
So I'm at Brooklyn Police Station in Hatfield, Pretoria, in Tshwane, and I am sure you know exactly what it is that I am here to do. And in my hands is the criminal complaints because we are going to be laying charges against the two individuals from the Open Chats podcast. And I am acting on behalf of the Patriotic Alliance because I've been given express authority by my party president, the Honorable Minister Gayton McKenzie. It's windy outside. Guess that's what the winds of change feel like.
I just want to confirm.
There we go. And now we've got this one to fill in also. It's the way my form says BR and not C. We must sort out that one on another day.
That we are done.
Yeah.
We are finished. Okay.
There you have it. The charges have been laid, and as we say in the Patriotic Alliance,
They want us lost.
So this is a reaction that came from Patriotic Alliance. You can see that the charges were actually laid against these young people in the Open Chat podcast. But that was not all, because even the leader of Patriotic Alliance, Gayton McKenzie, went on social media a couple of times. Guys, I'm not going to play all of those videos, but I think this is a very important video. This is Gayton McKenzie basically telling South Africans that, guys, I am going to instruct my lawyers to go after these young people because what these young people have said is totally unacceptable. We cannot accept these young people saying these things about the colored community. We cannot accept this blatant racism against the colored community by these black young people. So this is what Gayton McKenzie said.
SG, I'm just going to go into a meeting. I want Eugene, Evan, Marco, all the lawyers we have in the PA. I want a report today of how we're going to deal with those people that said coloreds are crazy. I want us to use everything at our disposal. Tonight at 7 p.m., so I can tell our people what action we are going to take. It's racism. We must never allow people to become that comfortable. If we have to say that about other races, we would have been on every front page. But because the media doesn't care about color people, that's why you see they don't even profile those people. But listen to me, Secretary General of the Patriotic Alliance. When I came out of this meeting today, because I've got cabinet meeting, I would like to know all steps that's going to be taken. We are going to go after them in their personal capacity legally. We're going to go after the show. I don't know all the instruments that is at our disposal legally, but you guys will tell me today at 7 p.m. and I will then post what you guys are going to do. Thank you very much.
And guys, so to be fair to the young people, they went to their platform when this thing was actually blowing up. They went to their own platform and they released a statement basically apologizing to the colored community. So this is a statement that was released by the Open Chat podcast. It says that, dear concerned viewers and members of the colored community, to our beloved operators and viewers, we have been receiving a lot of complaints about a trending clip on social media platforms regarding the colored community, which is also a big part of our audience. We would like to address this matter respectfully and leave no rooms for assumptions. We acknowledge the hurt caused by the clip that continues to circulate online and would like to communicate our genuine regret for that. The intention was never to cause harm or to disrespect the colored community. Open Chat, it is a platform centered around open conversations, which does at some time touch on sensitive topics. And with that said, we do understand that as a platform, we should conduct our conversations in a respectful manner. We would like to clarify that Open Chat podcast does not promote or support racism or discrimination. As seen in previous episode, we have also had wide range of guests on the show, including our colored community in numerous episodes. We want to thank all of those that have taken their time to reach out to us and hold us accountable. Your complaints are not being ignored. We do listen and we are learning. We would also like to clarify that the clip was removed from the episode of the podcast, and additionally, our team has recorded a follow-up episode addressing the matter respectfully in a person on our top Open Chat podcast episode. We thank those who have taken their time to reach out and bring up the issue and give you the surety that Open Chat podcast does not condone racism or hate speech. So this is an apology that was released by the Open Chat podcast crew to say that, guys, we said those things because we were joking. We didn't actually mean that the colored people are having sexual relations with their own family members. We didn't actually mean that the colored people are crazy. We said that in a jokingly manner. But Gayton McKenzie still went ahead and made this video. And on this video, Gayton McKenzie, you heard him. He said that he will go after these young people personally. He will go after the show. And this is where people actually said, Gayton McKenzie, stop. This is where the debate actually started, because many people were saying, we are not particularly against Gayton McKenzie and the Patriotic Alliance holding these young people accountable. But how can Gayton McKenzie and Patriotic Alliance hold these young people accountable without actually taking their bread from them, without actually destroying their platform? This is what people were talking about, that Gayton McKenzie is fine. You can go after these young people. Maybe you can take them to sensitive training or something else. Maybe you can go to the platform and start teaching these young people. But you going after these young people personally, you going after their show, it is totally unacceptable. So Gayton McKenzie on this whole thing, he's going to learn that in South Africa, you are not going to accuse black people of being racist. It doesn't matter what black people say, but you cannot accuse black people of being racist, because it's funny, because if you look at all the political parties that were clapping hands for Gayton McKenzie when he was saying that the DA, it is a racist political party, those white people in the DA are racist, the people were clapping hands for him. But now Gayton McKenzie is looking at these young black people and saying that these young black people, they were racist toward the colored community. And black people are saying, no, you cannot accuse black people of being racist. You know that this is something that has been said for a very long time, that black people cannot be racist, despite mountains of evidence, despite tons and tons of videos of racist things that were said by black people. The narrative is still out that black people are not racist. You cannot accuse black people of being racist. And this is exactly what they have done to Gayton McKenzie. They have showed Gayton McKenzie that you can accuse white people of being racist in this country. You can accuse the Indians of being racist in this country. You can accuse the Muslims of being racist, but you cannot accuse black people of being racist. If you accuse black people of being racist, we're gonna find a way of turning this thing around and making it about you. And this is exactly what they did to Gayton McKenzie. Guys, what those young people said, it was despicable, totally unacceptable, man. And it is sad because their platform is big. Their platform has a lot of people viewing them. And it seems like these young people do not understand that with such a big channel comes a big responsibility. But like I said, many of these young people, they get on these platforms and they start talking nonsense. So right now, Gayton McKenzie is trying to hold these young people accountable. But on the side, Gayton McKenzie is also being held accountable.
Now, the podcast has come under fire for derogatory comments
Sadly.
about the coloured community. MultiChoice has since distanced itself from the podcast and removed it from its platforms. Zamantungwa Mbeki from the South African Human Rights Commission joining me now to talk about what we do in these cases. Zamantungwa, good afternoon and thanks so much for your time. And I'm
You know, guys, I don't think there's an organization in this country that I hate more than the South African Human Rights Commission. I hate this organization with everything in my body. This is just an organization that is run by illegal immigrants to persecute South Africans in their own country. I hate this organization so much because this organization says nothing about the human rights violations that South Africans are subjected to. On a daily basis, they say absolutely nothing. But if South Africans dare to say something about illegal foreigners, if there's some scandal, if there's some racism scandal somewhere, these people are the first ones to show up. I don't like this at all, guys. I don't like the South African Human Rights Commission at all. And I think this is one of those organizations that needs to be destroyed. This is one of those organizations that actually needs to be destroyed. I don't see their use. I actually don't see the use for the South African Human Rights Commission.
reading some of these comments. They are in writing in front of me, made about the coloured community. I can't even say some of these words because I probably will be fired. I'm not going to say it, but absolutely shocking. And I think this calls now for obviously more control over what is put out on podcasts, because there seems to be very little control at the moment. What action are you taking, particularly, firstly, in this particular case here?
So the commission, I must say, has received quite a large number of complaints from different sectors in society, from political parties to members of the community. They're really outraged, and not just colored people or in the country, but people from different races as well, concerned about the utterances that have been that were made on the podcast. So we are taking the matter on for investigation. We have issued a letter of demand to the representatives, and the commission did note that there was an apology that we were advised that has been circulated, but it doesn't take away from the utterances as well as the harm that has been caused to members of the public.
I mean, extremely offensive from what I can see here. And I mean, it's one thing to say we apologize for what we said, then delete the clip and say it's never to be found anywhere. But it's out there. You've done it. It's already happened. Now, MultiChoice has distanced itself. Whether this podcast carries on, we have no idea. But that can't be the end of it. There needs to be some action, some consequences for the people who spoke those words.
Definitely. And I think as a journalist...
And guys, you know, another thing that I've actually realized about the reporting of the mainstream media on this whole thing, because I was sitting down and actually watching this thing unfold for a couple of days. The mainstream media is actually pushing for the regulation of the podcast. And I am not defending what those young people said. But we cannot have the mainstream media in this country pushing for the podcast to be regulated. And even the political parties, many of the political parties, they were speaking about the regulation of the podcast. Guys, you need to understand that these people will take a moment like this one. They will take a clip like this one and actually go after our freedom of speech. This is what these people are doing. I've again seen a lot of people on social media saying that, guys, maybe it's time that the podcast be regulated. But what people do not understand is that if these people actually come after the podcast, then you as the viewers, you are next. You as people who normally comment on this platform, you as people who will go on social media and have conversations about what is happening in this country with your friends or your families or the people that you are with on social media, the government will come for you too. And this is something that people, it seems like people do not actually understand, that if we allow these comrades to go ahead and regulate the podcast, it is the end of the freedom of speech. It is the end of the freedom of speech. Before you even know it, the police will be on your door for criticizing Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa goes out and says something. You come on the platform and you say exactly what Ramaphosa said, and the police will be on your door. So, guys, I am warning South Africans that, guys, please do not fall for these people. These young people, they need to be held accountable. They need to be taught. And they need to be explained that, guys, you have a big platform and you need to understand the responsibility that comes with that platform. Some of the things that you guys are saying potentially gonna hurt other people, and you don't want that on your name. This is what these young people need to understand. But to go as far as regulating the podcast, guys, they will come after you too. They will start with us. They will say, yes, finally, we have actually passed a legislation. We are shutting down the 360 experience. We are shutting down citizen consent. We are shutting down the money short. Bonsai, we are shutting down Bonsai. We are shutting down State of the Nation. Because in all of these channels, there is something that you can find. And that will say, okay, this is offensive. There are many things that you can find on my platform and say that, okay, Thomas, what you said here was actually quite offensive. And for that, this are the grounds why we are suspending the 360 experience. People need to understand that, guys, if we allow the politicians to go after the podcast, we are actually allowing the politicians to come after our freedom of speech. Before we even know it, it will be UK. In UK, people are getting arrested for posts on social media. People are getting arrested for posting their thoughts on Facebook. This is what is happening right now in the UK. It seems like the whole Europe is about to turn into dictatorship. And I am sure this is something that the ANC will like so much, because they are getting a lot of backlash in this country. South Africans are expressing their frustrations about the incompetence of the ANC and corruption of the ANC. And if we could give these people a chance to shut us down, they will shut us down. South Africans need to understand that. So back to Gayton McKenzie. Like I said, guys, earlier on, that Gayton McKenzie is learning in real time that in South Africa, you cannot hold black people accountable. You cannot hold black people accountable. You cannot. Because Gayton McKenzie was going after these young people to say that, no, we need to hold these young people accountable. And multi-choice, this podcast was also broadcast on DSTV. So it looks like even DSTV has dropped this podcast because of this backlash that they got. So they have lost a lot of money, obviously. So Gayton McKenzie is going after these young people. But as the result of that, people are digging up the tweets that Gayton McKenzie said a long time ago. Like this tweet. Gayton McKenzie in 2012. This is a tweet that has resurfaced. In 2012, Gayton McKenzie says that not all white guys that makes black guys sit at the back of the buggy are racist. Some of these guys stink, and I would do the same. This is something that Gayton McKenzie has said in 2012. And in their defense, they are saying, no, this is what Gayton McKenzie said in 2012. It doesn't mean that this is what Gayton McKenzie still believes in. And people are saying, Gayton McKenzie, you came to us, you told us that you did a lot of bad things, and you have apologized for that. And you are rehabilitating yourself with this political party that you are claiming to fight for the people of this country. So South Africans actually gave you a second chance because right now your political party is in parliament, despite you as the leader of the political party and the deputy president of this political party being convicted criminals. South Africans have given you the second chance. Why are you not giving these young people a second chance? Why are you not doing to these young people what South Africans have actually done to you? This is what people were actually saying when Gayton McKenzie was going hard after these young people to say that. But guys, Gayton McKenzie does not actually believe in the second chance. He wanted South Africans to give him a second chance. South Africans gave him and Kenukunene a second chance. They opened a political party and now it is a successful political party. But Gayton McKenzie is not giving these young people a second chance. So black people in this country, they actually went back and dug up Gayton McKenzie's old tweets. And guys, some of these tweets are insane. Some of these tweets are insane. Like this one, man. People are, they are losing their minds over this one. Not all white guys that makes black guys sit at the back of the buggy are racist. Some of these guys stink as hell, and I would do the same. This is what Gayton McKenzie has said in 2012. So now what is happening is that they are flipping the script on Gayton McKenzie. He was accusing these young people of being racist towards the colored community and saying that he's going to do everything in his power to hold these young people accountable. So now people are saying, no, Gayton McKenzie, you are not clean yourself. You are also a racist. How can you accuse us, black people, of being racist towards the colored community, whereas you have always been a racist? You have always been a racist. And now we are going to dig up the things that you've said, possibly 10, 20 years ago, to prove that you are a racist. This is what the left is doing to Gayton McKenzie. I mean, like it is said, Gayton McKenzie worked so hard to be on the side of the left, especially when it comes to the racial politics. He worked so hard to actually impress some of these people on the left. But right now, the left is actually showing him that, guys, you can be on our side, but you must never criticize us. We're going to clap hands for you when you criticize Helen Zille and call Helen Zille a racist at every single turn. But if you are going to start calling black people racist, then we're going to have a problem. And this is exactly what Gayton McKenzie is learning about the left. So some of the tweets that were dug up, these are just some of the screenshots of the tweet that were dug up by Gayton McKenzie. You can see here, Gayton McKenzie says that words like black diamonds basically means that you are a better kafir. Stop naming and giving nonsensical titles to blacks. Words like entrepreneur and black diamonds basically describe you as a better kafir. Then Gayton McKenzie says that a kafir's sole ambition is to collect a certain number of cattle to buy a wife with and then pass it and pass his life in adolescence in nakedness. A kafir's sole ambition is to collect a certain number of cattle to buy a wife with and then pass his life in indolence and nakedness. We should also be honest about the fact that our foreign brothers and sisters have become the new kafir for some white business owners. This is Gayton McKenzie, guys. These are tweets from 2015 to 2017. Apparently, these are things that Gayton McKenzie was saying on social media. We should also be honest about the fact that our foreign brothers and sisters have become the new kafir for some white business owners in South Africa. And then again, there's something that Gayton McKenzie said in 2015. And this is what Gayton McKenzie said in 2015. He says that black youth are very good at dancing outside courtrooms and returning to empty grocery cupboards back at home. You need to use your time more wisely. Black youth are very good at dancing outside the courtrooms and returning to empty grocery cupboard back at home. You need to use your time more wisely. So, of course, these tweets were going viral on social media. Black people in this country, they actually made sure that these tweets are going viral and they are pushing for Ramaphosa to fire Gayton McKenzie. So Gayton McKenzie says that this whole campaign to find something racist that I have ever said is hilarious because you have now gone 13 years back and can't bring out one racist thing that I've ever said. I have always and still fight that coloreds and black people are one people being treated differently. This whole campaign to find something racist that I've said is hilarious because you have now gone 13 years back and can't bring out one racist thing that I've said. I've always thought that colored and black people are one people being treated differently, mistakenly. And this is something that Gayton McKenzie has said 3 days ago. But again, Gayton McKenzie was exposed for the hypocrite that he is. And this is what Gayton McKenzie says. He says that you are more offended by our outrage as colored people against the vile racism that was directed at us. You find excuses for these young people who had a whole race. You are encouraging future racists instead of nipping this in the bud. We are not you. You remember, guys, that on this post, Gayton McKenzie says that I have always and still fight that coloreds and black people are one people. I always and still fight that coloreds and black people are one people. But on this post, he says that we are not you. We are not you. So he's not happy at all about what has been dark. He's not happy about the fact that right now the attention is on him, not these young people that have said hateful things about the colored community. Because me personally, guys, I think that the colored community actually has the right, every right, to be mad about what was said about them. Because if somebody would actually get on a platform and say that black people are having sexual relations with their own family members and their own cousins, and people would get mad if a colored or a white person would say that black people are having sex with their own relatives, with their own family members. Of course, there would be outrage. And that person says that black people are crazy. There will be outrage left, right, and center. So when it comes to the colored community, I actually understand why the colored community is so angry. But I'm looking at how this whole thing is unfolding, especially for Gayton McKenzie, and I'm laughing. I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie. I am laughing because the people that Gayton McKenzie tried to push himself into are now turning back against him. So the big partner of Gayton McKenzie, Kinukunene, went on social media, man, to defend his own brother, to say that this man, Gayton McKenzie, has never been and is not and will never be a racist. His mother is a South African Sotho woman from Basotho location in Mangaung, and his father is a colored. I know him better than all of you. Even in prison, he brought a team together for expose. He says that even in prison, he brought a whole team together for expose and made up black, white, Indian, and colored inmates. Your campaign, Tony Yengeni, and your cronies will never succeed. So Kenukunana says that Gayton McKenzie is not a racist at all. He's not a racist at all. This guy's mother is a Sotho woman from Basotho location in Mangaung, Bloemfontein, and his father is a colored. He knows Gayton McKenzie better than all of us. Of course, Kenukunene knows Gayton McKenzie better than all of us. And he says that even in prison, he brought a team together containing of black people, white people, Indians, and colored. Your campaign, Tony Yengeni, and your cronies will never succeed. So right now, clearly in Patriotic Alliance, they can see that Gayton McKenzie going after the Open Chat podcast, it seems like it was not a bright idea. It seems like it was not a bright idea, but this actually shows you that these people are living in a bubble. These people are not living in the same South Africa that we live in. We always say that in this country, black people they have the right to say whatever that they want about other races, but other races cannot say anything about black people. This is how things are in this country. And it is so fortunate that it is so sad for Gayton McKenzie to actually do this to himself, because right now, the conversation is no longer about what was said on the Open Chat podcast, but now the conversation is about Gayton McKenzie, and Gayton McKenzie basically hating black people. Gayton McKenzie hates black people. This is a narrative that is now going around on social media. So political parties have started to react to all of these things. So now Action SA has reported Minister Gayton McKenzie to the useless South African Human Rights Commission for racist on social media posts. So these posts that have dated back 13, 15 years back are now coming back to head Gayton McKenzie. And right now, Action SA has reported Minister Gayton McKenzie to this useless South African Human Rights Commission. But other political party that is reacting is the EFF. The EFF is not only condemning Gayton McKenzie for what he said on this social media post, but the EFF is pushing for Gayton McKenzie to be fired. So I guess we will see if Ramaphosa will actually fire Gayton McKenzie, because you know Ramaphosa likes to grandstand. So we will see if Gayton McKenzie we will see if Ramaphosa will actually fire Gayton McKenzie, because this is a question that many people are asking. Is Ramaphosa actually going to keep a man that calls black people kafirs in his cabinet? Is Ramaphosa going to allow a minister, a whole minister, to call black people kafirs and still be in cabinet? This is a question that many people are saying. So the EFF says that the Economic Freedom Fighters calls for the immediate removal of Gayton McKenzie as the Minister of Sports, Art and Culture, following the resurfacing of a long history of hateful, racist, and dehumanizing remarks that he has made about black people. In a series of tweets, McKenzie referred to black people using the derogatory apartheid-era slur kafir, describing them as having no ambition and beyond collecting cattle to buy wives, and living in indolence and in nakedness. A quote he attributed to Gandhi, who was known for his racist sentiment. In other posts, he claimed that terms such as tenderpreneur and black diamonds merely mean a better kafir, reinforcing the idea that black people are inferior and deserving of insult regardless of their achievements. Furthermore, he called our fellow Africans ape-looking women. These are not minor lapses or slips of the tongue. They are deliberate, repeated, and deeply harmful expressions of anti-black prejudice. They mirror the historical language of white supremacists and apartheid apologists, and they open the wounds of generations who have been dehumanized in their own land. So the EFF is calling for the head of Gayton McKenzie. They are calling for the head of Gayton McKenzie. And I don't have the words, man. I don't have the words. I'm just laughing, man. I'm just laughing at this point. I'm just laughing at this point. And I hope that other politicians can see what has happened here with Gayton McKenzie. I hope that other politicians can see that in this country, you will never be allowed to call black people racist. And if you dare say black people are racist, then they will find something against you. They will find an old post. They will find an old tweet about you. And they will make that the center of attention. They will make that the center of attention. And I'm not for Gayton McKenzie destroying these young people. Like I previously said, I believe that these young people can be taught that they have a big platform, so they have a big responsibility. They need to understand that, fine. But the way that people have actually turned this thing against Gayton McKenzie and now pushing for Gayton McKenzie to be fired, like, it is laughable, guys. It is laughable. But this is what the racial politics is getting for us. This is the identity politics at its best. This is the identity politics at its best. And you know, when it comes to this thing, all political parties were out participating. All political parties were out participating. Why? Because it is their favorite topic, racism. It is their favorite topic, racism. And guys, I hope that I'm not going to get sued by Gayton McKenzie and Liam Jacobs, because it seems like they are in a mood to sue everybody who says anything about them. So guys, what do you think, man, about what was said on the Open Chat podcast? What do you think should be done to these young people in terms of accountability? And what do you think about the tweets of Gayton McKenzie that has resurfaced? Do you think that those tweets are enough for Ramaphosa to fire Gayton McKenzie? I don't know. Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.